化製品から離れなきゃ。
Didn't you promise to show me around? If you were going to disappear the moment things got busy, you could have asked me to help.
ポプカルを一人にしないで。
ここに正式に所属されたらサボりづらくなるよね。そんなに場所を取らない装備でよかった。
ここから仕事場までどれくらいか確認してこよっと。
あなた方は多くの人々を受け入れているようだね。
こんなところにずっと閉じこもってるとなんか
今日は何をしましょうか。こたつはどこ？ここが召喚の居宅ですね。おっきいお風呂があったらいいな。この部屋はすごく安心できますね。
必要な物資はあるか？助けになろう。
この部屋まずい。人を眠りに誘うデザインだ。足元に気をつけた方がいいわ。 気をつけ。
突っ込むのは私に任せて、お前らはとにかく後方支援を頼む。
あら、狩りの時間？
出発だ。あ、そういや聞くの忘れてた。作戦目標はなんだっけ？
ビクトリアのバグパイプ波状棒と共にマイル。安心して、きっと大丈夫だから。
時間をかけるつもりはない。
大気中思考を明晰にするは戦術。まずはジャガイモを埋めてくるわ。
問題ないよ。いや悪いね、僕は別に信徒じゃないよ。
どの戦いも楽しむべきよ。見た目はあなたたちの心に染み込んでいくわ。
私が来たんだから慌てんな。
今日はご機嫌なの。ついて指定の座標に到着。3、1、ターン。
Are you fucking kidding me? I have been muted this whole time? Are you fucking kidding me? I've been muted for like an hour. Oh no! I've been muted for like an hour. Oh no! Dude! I've been reading out loud this whole time! I even did accents! I even did fucking accents! Are you fucking kidding me? But I read your message earlier. I didn't know what you meant. Look. Not like this. Oh, that's so dumb. Oh no. Stream ruined. I've been muted for like an hour. Oh man. Well, isn't that a lesson learned? Well, whatever. Oh my fucking god. Alright, well, we'll continue from here. Okay. To recap, since I assume you were not reading what I was reading out loud. Recap, Tallulah has escaped reunion. No, she has escaped Rhodes Island. She met with Cache, which was the person that had been inside her body during the previous chapters. Had a big long conversation. She almost choked him out and killed him right there. Then she went away, and now we're here in the story, like in the past. We're living in the past, where some kind of murder plot is happening against the king. And the little girl in this room is hiding behind like a suit of armor and listening into this like whole plot unveil. Oh my god. Oh, that is so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. That is so fucking embarrassing, dude. Okay. Her skirt's filthy by now. Else she won't be happy. You know what the best part is? So, they've been like referring to this like Cumberland. I've been calling it Cumland this whole time, and I also been calling it Cumland to myself. As long as she's not caught. She doesn't understand what happened. The sky and the ground seemed to spin before her eyes. The instant Aladale's head whirling with her hands and legs all purchased, her grasp and footing touch. What's on my phone? But thin air, she plummets straight from the second story. Oh, damn, that's bad. The gardener senior screams like mad towards her head, but before she hits the stiff soil, a soft yet ample cushion catches her. A cushion from where? No, it's not even a cushion. Aladale feels herself gently placed upon the ground. She turns to look behind. And a creature confined to legend must stand before what? They must have left the fucking lion with a sword? Out of a fairy tale just a moment ago stood here imposingly in the garden. They really do exist. Their golden fur gleams scintillant as the sun. The one at the head of the pupils a deep brown, and they are now calmly staring at Aladale. Aladale, brought by her father, has had several audiences with His Majesty and has seen generations of portraits of Aslan kings hung on the palace walls. But this is the first time she cannot help the urge to bow her head before such a gaze, for the one before her seemed more awe-inspiring than any monarch. Dude, look at this lion. It's Siege, dude. Look, it's Siege. Yet a Cumland does not bow so lightly. Aladale makes a conscious effort to keep her head held high as it can go, and only then does she notice that the one in the center carries a human astride him. A girl who must even be younger than her, dressed in sumptuous ceremony, longedly sat atop his back akin to plated gold. Wait, is this Siege? Wait, this might just be Siege. In his mouth is held a sword that outsides the girl by far. A deep resonant voice arises in Aladale's head. Aladale Cumland, you will meet Vina again someday. Is it the first time Aladale meets them? And the last as well? Or whatever, me being muted is fine. This was a me stream anyway. No one wants to watch a reading stream. But it's a little sad. It's a little sad. I had a good laughs. I had a couple good jokes in there. I had some pretty fucking good jokes in there, alright? They're lost in time now. And yet here I am. Yeah, but you're like great and stuff. You're like fucking awesome or something. I don't know. In the over 20 years to follow, this sight will recur in her dreams of that August golden presence of the girl who was there with them. Until, like the massive star of Beast prophesied, she once again meets the one named Vina. Is that end of flashback? Are we going back to modern day? No, not yet, it seems. Victorian officer. Look, that's Her Royal Highness Alexandrina. Yeah, that is Siege. Inform His Majesty immediately. We found her. Her Highness. She's in the garden right at this moment. Wait, I'm not seeing things. Isn't that the missing? Her Highness. She's found the size of kings. God save Victoria. God save the king. Cheers instantly erupt through the garden. Servicemen, noble servants, everyone swarms for the place. Eyes on Her Highness bearing the symbol of royal power. What a miracle it is. Hot tears fill the people's eyes, and one after another, they reach their hands out in joy. Miss Alder, what are you doing here? Elshi, can't see them. Them? What do you mean? Her Highness Alexandrina? The only one there, you know. No, them, they're golden. Just said something to me too. Did something happen to you? Your skirt's dirty to high heavens. Are you alright? I'm not sure. Stars. Stars fell into the room room upstairs. The steam knight armor, it gave those scoundrels a beating. I don't understand. What are you telling me? Algie, I feel really dizzy. You need some proper rest. Who hasn't lost her head seeing all of this? Far too much has happened today. Yeah, so we're getting like... I'm not sure who this little girl is. Did you see Her Royal Highness Alexandrina came back with the missing size of kings? The cheers from the gardens were practically shaking all of the windows and walls. Hardly anyone believed their own eyes. Her Highness Alexandrina in the flesh, and her age, how young she is still. A miracle, everyone's calling it. Yes, a miracle, of course it is. The greatest difference between miracle and coincidence is that the miracles never descend for no reason in time and place. They do. It'll be His Majesty's birthday soon. How could I not consider this magical affair a splendid portent of things to come? Do you give that a rest? They put on this whole author-style drama for the merriment of anyone watching. When I'm suddenly you guys don't have eyes. Like, how did you see anything? Like, you can't trick me. You didn't see shit. By the way, does anyone else think it's fucking weird that he has cat ears, but also normal ears? I don't know, let's think that's a little weird. He has human ears and cat ears? I feel like that's a pair too many. But I'm something minding is the opinion some dukes have of His Majesty and our Duke of Cumberland. I mean, Vieira can up to 4 ears. I mean, but Vieira are like shit. Who the fuck plays Vieira? Like, only losers play Vieira. Anyways, leave it there. All worries on the back burner now. The dinner party's about to begin. You're quite right. Let's enjoy everything to the fullest. God save Victoria. Save Victoria. I need a sippy. Little sip. It seems people's attention are on Alexandrina's adventure. Your Majesty, you knew beforehand Her Highness would enter the cavern underground. It was a fine opportunity with me out of the palace. The diligent guards could more easily shatter or perhaps sleep on the job and thus let this little intruder of us slip by. So you plan all this. Half was his fine improvisation. He does like a harmless little practical joke on us humans now and then. If we went, who are these voices? Is like what I wonder. Dude, I can't wait for Tallulah to be a playable operator. She's clearly gonna be playable in the future. Obviously, she's gonna be playable. I just can't wait for Dragon Hitler. I can't wait for Dragon Hitler. Is that a little too much? I don't know. If we went along with this, does that imply he to consider this unnecessary deed? Londinium will soon, for summer awfully stuffy days, and torrent of rain from time to time. You're planning to spend Allerdale and the wife out of the city yourself, aren't you? Your Majesty, my intentions have always been but one. I simply... Robert, you adore your daughter, as do I. We are to wager everything for Victoria's present, but they are Victoria's future. On and off chance we do fail, we will not, Your Majesty. I will ensure that the worst case does not happen if it takes my very life. I'm filled with great courage and confidence at our prospects. Still, it doesn't hinder me from planning just the most minute escape option from Alexandrina. I want the story to pick up from where it, like, ended. Like, this flashback's fine and all, but oh my god, I want to know what the fuck is up with Teresa's. What the fuck is up with Teresa's? How is she back? How the fuck is she back? And they keep implying that she did die. She didn't survive somehow. It wasn't faked or anything. She did die. And then W, like, all fucking pissed off. My wife was pissed off by the end of last episode, alright? She was angry, running up to Cal Cid and like, demanding the answer of, like, how the fuck did Teresa's get... How did Pheresis get Teresa's body? How the fuck did he do that? Why is she still here? It's so weird. And if you, I assume you don't know anything about Arknight stories, so let me fill you in. Teresa's was the person that built Rhode Island. Rhode Island, the big, like, moving, like, fucking, like, ship, I guess we're on. That, you know, that the doctor lives and all our operators and base and shit are. She's the one that originally, like, saw to its construction. Now, at one point, she died. The exact nature of her death has not been explained yet. It has only been implied that us, the main character, the doctor, killed her at some point. And she is basically like Amiya's like mother figure, like adoptive mother in a sense. And she has bestowed Amiya with like a power called like the King of Sarkaz or something. Which is why like Amiya has like those rings. You will notice like Amiya has like a bunch of rings on her like fingers and like other parts of her body, and those are like inhibitors. Because the power she inherited from Teresa's is like too much for her to handle in her young little body. But now she's back and we don't know why, and I, like W, want to know what the fuck is up with that. She'll be ruling Victoria sooner or later. Is it so wrong that to have her get to grips with the city in advance? Similar farce is still more or less served to right the balance on this stifling seeming afternoon. Under all this pressure, the people's spirits need a little boost. That is what we're met here for. Of course, we all have some premonitions, hence why we made these calculations, correct? Come, Robert, once you're done with your tea, we'll be due downstairs. I hear music. That's the band that His Majesty invited. Yes, Miss Alder, the dinner party is about to begin. Everyone's so happy. Aren't you happy? Aren't you happy too? Okay, how the fuck am I supposed to say it? Elshi? Elshi? Will the days go on like this forever? Me and you and Dad and Mom? Me, you, and Dad and Mom? We'll always be together, right? I don't know, Miss Allerdale, but I believe nothing ever stays completely the same, just as the flowers in the garden. No, there are some things that will never change, Alshi. I'll grow up to be a steam knight, just like Sir Lynch. No, even greater than Sir Lynch. I'll protect you all, and I'll drive every scoundrel away. How do you rate my British, huh? Pretty good. I know, it's pretty good, huh? I'll uphold the glory of Cumberland, just like my great-great-great-great-grandmother. I'm pretty good. I promise this, Alshi. You'll see. You'll see. Miss, I'm not leaving Londinium. You're not allowed to leave either, Alshi. I'm not going to tell Dad. This is my home. Just like every Cumberland's done before me. I'll keep it. I'll protect it until my life's over. I swear. What a beautiful little angel.
必要な組織サンプルの採取を開始しろ。
I love this. I love that you get these rewards also. Woo! That was a lot of reading. I just wanna say that we have been live for an hour and a half, and we have completed one mission. Holy shit! What is this? Woo! Free shit. This is why Arknight's story is hard to get through. This is why Arknight's story is a little hard to get through. Now, to be fair, I did read this before, so it's not all just, you know, one mission story, but still, you know, pretty rough. Oh man, this looks like it sucks. What are these? Wait, what's going on here? Ah, fuck it, just play Shen Altar somewhere and win. Ooh, my front. All right, let's push through one more mission at least. 4 years ago, 1094, 325 overcast, St. Marcel's College, Achterrig. How's my German? Achterrig, district of Londinium. You just gotta bring out the Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, even though it's Austrian. Hey, look, all the soldiers in Parliament Square, all the crossbows and cannons, you got nowhere to run. Stop crying, you're not supposed to cry, chin up. You're playing the king. I'll have you all killed. I've got my Knights of the Foyer. It's the Knights of the Tower. Most of them surrendered. All the ones who won't give in will be like you soon. They'll be tried by us in the fire rage of Londinium we represent. Who can try a king? Used to be nobody could, but maybe nobody else in the future either. You're a dead end, your majesty. You blocked Victoria's forward stride. Every machine in the city stopped on your command. Plus, you want to take the daily bread away from all the suffering people, stealing every last penny out of their purses. Our hands toil for nothing, but tomorrow, son, it's you and your greedy attendants that force us to stain ourselves in blood. Forward, soldiers, for Victoria. What a beautiful little stage play. Victoria, I am Victoria, you insolent. Victoria won't pardon you for this, even if I become a specter. A specter. First you run over those steps and then fall down, and then you say that. Yeah, they'll have a little stage play. Who's that running around the doorway here? Ralph, Anna. You little pair of mischief makers. It's Miss Molly. We're just getting to the most fun part. Anna, quick, get on the steps. We're going to do... Hold up. I think this is a game that you're not coming back from. We're just going to do the hanging. Yeah, we're just gonna hang her. Like, what's the big deal? Hanging? Who taught your children such a cruel game? It's how the grown-ups in Slantworth Alley play. Let's play Hangman. I don't know. Usually you don't play it with a live subject. Slantworth Alley, there's all manners there. Did you watch some kind of silly show? Who took you to see? Tom the Cobbler. The cobbler? You can cobble these nuts. Anyways, he was drunk, drinking a lot of yellow... And that was all... a lot of yellow stuff. I know it's beer, but it could also be piss. And it was all dripping off his face. Is he R. Kelly perchance? Anyways, it was dripping off his face. And then he ran up on stage while they were up there and was yelling and screaming, "I won't let you disgrace His Majesty the King. He was the great among greats." Yeah, bloody Tom. No, that's no language to use in front of children. What's he thinking? Taking children to a pub? Again, my British? Pretty good, pretty good. Let's keep going, Anna. I want to play one more time before supper. And it's your turn to be one of the one that dies, Ralph. You promise. You can't fib. Oh, Your Majesty, pardon these children for disrespecting you. They've never seen you nor heard of your voice before. All they know are rumors of you from all the city's gossip peddlers. Miss Molly, you've never seen a king before either. You don't get to be all hoy. Miss Molly, you've never seen the king before either. You don't get to be all hoity-toity with us. Hoity-toity. Come on, run, Anna. I'm chasing you. Other way, traitors. Sooner or later, you'll all be torn apart by the beast within. Children, this is hardly proper of you. If you don't want punishment, you'd best cut that out. Never let any of the clergy or teachers see what? Oh, good Lady Golding. Oh, is she the kid? She kind of looks like the kid all grown up. Holy shit, definitely all grown up. Woo! Jesus Christ. How's the back pain? Ralph, why are you so flushed? Cause we're playing a game, ma'am. It's really fun. A game? Very well, I understand. Return to your bedroom soon. And don't forget to do today's homework. Yes, ma'am. Additionally, Ralph, Molly may only be older than two of you, but by a few years, but she is still your teacher. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, Miss Molly. Alright, wait, what? How is she only a couple years older? Wait, what? Alright, let's do the ma'am now. Off you go. I can't believe you didn't scold the two of them. Ralph and Anna, I don't blame them. The children just don't understand what cruelty is yet. And they have an innate desire to learn. They can't learn anything proper from books or ourselves. It's only natural to turn to other places. So many say that hanging transformed Victoria. Lady Golding, do you agree? Ask the same question to different people and you'll only get different answers. The machines of Highbury's munitions factories certainly never ceased to whirl, but the grand houses of have had many change in ownership. While I know these poor children still come in droves to our school each year, bless their hearts, they're in need of help, much as I was 20 years ago. I thank the school. If it hadn't lodged me, I would have long died of some illness or other. Ollie, what happened just earlier gave me an idea. Idea? You mean the sets of plays you're holding? Indeed. So they're meant for children, but they only just learned to read. Wouldn't it be a little too soon? Better this than all the show is slipshod stuff in Slantward's alley. For young children, acting others' role is a tantamount to a game. The complex implications might escape them for now, but at least they can get a little taste of the emotion and power within the word for themselves. I do hope you're right. It goes with another upside too, no? The children won't be nodding off in my literature classes anymore. I suppose so. What's the matter to me is that we can use up just a little of their energy. It'll be a great relief for me. Excuse me, madams. Bookshop's closing in advance. Mr. Adams, you're quite early to shut today. Haven't you heard yet, ma'am? There was a disturbance at the Duke's office in Camden this morning. Disturbance? What kind of disturbance is to be affected? Achterdig, it's quite a ways away. One of the office admins got holy shit, got beat to death. What's the dude? He got beat to death, and he had this like flowering music, like ha 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 ha. Duke of Stafford's nephew apparently only just rocked up to Londinium a week ago. Oh, rest his soul. Have the police caught the murderer yet? That's the problem. Witnesses say the suspects scarpered into the defense force barracks. Seal the street, move, don't let him get away. All eyes out. And now he's flaying into Achterdig. Hanging people, beating someone to death. Story is kind of dark, yo. Dude, the story is super fucking dark. Dude, you know how fucking dark... Okay. Have you... Okay, you know Tallulah, the fucking boss, right? Have you seen, like, the reason she became evil? Or, like, the turning point where she became evil? I assume you haven't, but I'm just gonna ask anyway. If you've seen it, because that is, like, fucked up. Like, the thing that broke her, like, is really fucked up. Okay, so... Yeah, skip there. I understand. I mean, it's very long. Again, I don't begrudge anyone for skipping, but it's like... Okay. So the thing about Tallulah is that her origins is that she led, like, a group, like, reunion of, like, infected people. And they were just surviving. They just, like, lived in the woods, surviving, going from, like, area to area just to, like, fucking live, right? And it didn't really... And while this was happening, she was also, like, getting slowly, like, mind corrupted by this black snake person called Kashi. It's a lot of stuff that happened, but basically, after, like, years of running around and having the shittiest life, because they're infected in Ursus, and Ursus treat infected like actual pests, they eventually go into a village. At least, okay, maybe you remember the mission. You remember how, like, there's one mission where you don't control anything, and it's just Tallulah walking around killing people? It's that mission. Where, prior to that, what happened was that Tallulah came to this village. The story behind it is that Tallulah came to this village, looking for reprieve. They were, like, her group was, like, moving through, right? And the villagers give her a place to stay. That place to stay, she goes, they let her stay in a shed. Or, like, she walks into the shed. And inside of it, she sees pieces of skin, claw marks, fallen off nails, blood everywhere. And it turns out what had happened was that the villagers had found an infected girl. And not only did they kill her, they stuck her inside the shed and had her starve to death. And she was clawing at the walls, trying to get a way out. But she didn't, and eventually she just starved to death inside the shed. And when the villagers were confronted by Tallulah, they had zero remorse. And in fact, they wanted to do the same thing to Tallulah. And that is when Tallulah finally snapped. This Kashi figure that was living inside her head took over, and she went, or not yet, she massacred the entire fucking village, burned it to the ground, and that's when she became the villain. That's when she became the Tallulah that we were fighting against. So, that is fucking dark. Holy shit. Yeah, so yes, the Arknight story is pretty fucking dark. Yeah, you don't feel too bad for those villagers now, huh? You just says, you know, there was this weird mission. What? She was just killing a bunch of innocents, right? She was just killing them, like, because she's crazy, right? No. Well, she became crazy, but for good reason. Yeah, that was pretty fucked up. And now he's fled into Ochterig, really? Hard to say, man. Probably not that simple. How strange. Are these the defense forcemen? I'm actually just playing tricks, but are their uniforms a little different to what I remember? I got a friend who lives in Camden, ma'am. He says there's soldiers just flooding the streets nearby, all of them wearing that uniform. There's even word that, well, a duke secretly slipped into Londinium just yesterday. How though? He wasn't prohibited by law. Thank you, Mr. Adams. These books are too heavy. I'll pick them up next time. Molly, back to the school as quick as we can. No one. Didn't they say they saw someone hiding in the alley? We can't let word of the Duke spread in the city. We do our entire operation today. Oh, damn that blast. Damn and blast. Didn't even see if there was a man or a woman. What the hell are these intelligence agents doing in their bloody Londinium offices? Good for nothing. He's got that Dutchie's people running in circles around them. Lucky I just landed a bolt. Keep up the chase. They can't have gotten far. Heidi? Wait, is she the one that beat the guy to death? She didn't strike me as, well, I guess when you hang out with Calcit, you're a crazy one. Lady Golding, did you see something? Nothing urgent. For, Heidi is a character, just to, like, recap, since you haven't read the story, right? Heidi is our intelligence officer from within Londinium that helped us to get inside the city. Because Londinium was, walled off, with, like, these giant walls and these fucking cannons that, you know, you had Mudrock tank. And she was basically our intelligence and our contact to get into Londinium. That's who Heidi is, just for a quick recap. Molly, you go back to school for now. Gather all children and make sure that they don't stray out into the streets. What about you? I'm going to see a friend. Prepare for some hot water and clean towel in office for me. I'll be back as soon as I can. Sorry, bear with me. School things are fairly rudimentary. More often we have children falling over while making a racket, not so much being shot by soldiers' crossbows. Who knew you could sew up wounds? With the scant yearly donations to the school, we can't afford to hire that many staff, so I have to moonlight as the school's nurse a lot of the time. Ugh, ow. Is she blushing? Dude, it's not that kind of wound, okay? Jeez. She's not going inside of you like that. Whew. Calm down a little, Heidi. After seeing you move so silently on the street, I wasn't imagining you would feel the pain. Oh, you don't jest with me. You're the only one in all of Londinium who can truly catch my breath with. I can search your wounds, Heidi, but I can't disinfect it. You best off to a hospital straight away. I don't think so. Can you tell me why? I thought we were friends. Golding, I shouldn't have come here with you in the first place. I haven't wanted to pull you or the children into all the mess. The soldiers are after you. Are they really the Duke of Stafford's men? Did Adams tell you that? I thought he would keep mum. He's your friend and mine as well. He was the one holding the book club we met each other at, and don't you forget that. How could I ever? You were a ruthless one then. A fast food work of pop culture subservience. It's only Its only use is fueling chatter between ladies of the house and girls at tea time. The words are for my newest work. But I did say that the author's talent lay far beyond. And I hadn't conceived that the most tasteful of Londinium critics was such a simple, unassuming teacher. I could read into every line you'd written, and for each one, the 100 lines you hadn't, besides those were your words, Heidi, uttered by you. Never would I have doubted the unspoken understanding between us. Then let me help you. We can be more frank with each other, Heidi. Just as we always have. Golding, did I ever tell you that years and years ago I had the fortune of meeting a Laterano cleric who wasn't a sancta? She's talking about Calcit there, right? She once lived in Londinium too. She may well have some ties to this school's origin. Who is she? She's... Lady Golding, goodness. Well, hold on, you have a guess. Who might this be? A literary circle friend. Is something the matter, Molly? I thought, ma'am. I thought you would have heard. Whoa! What the fuck? From far away come strange noises. Some sort of Londiniers are quite inert, too. They confuse them all too easily at first with the sound of an exploding steam boiler, carelessly lit, or the sound of a mechanical foul beast the children so love slicing through the air. But as the ground and building perish become thoroughly apparent, an instinctual panic strikes everyone. By protection of the kings, Londinium has never once met catastrophe before. What they face now is without a doubt a different sort of menace, and in those long age something stirs. The nightmare of 20 years ago has come again. The sign of war. In the midst of a room silence, the rumble grows thicker. It doesn't make sense. They were only catching a few criminals. Why did they bring out such a display of force? If we could make sense of every thought in the minds of our fellow man, many tragedies would never come to pass. Molly, if you could check whether the soldiers in the street are still there. Yes, ma'am. I have to leave now. I know I love the urge to stay, but I know full well that not even a heavy artillery could stop you. I know you've noticed too, Golding. Another scene change is being wrought upon Londinium. The Duke of Stafford's troops are on the offensive, and at Parliament Square as we speak, the Duke's Cavendish men arrived at the outer wall a long time earlier. The coup d'etat were 20 years ago, and turmoil it brought were at least the briefest thing for the citizens here, but this time I couldn't say. So the royals are fucking fighting each other for control. And I assume at some point here that's when the Sarkaz like step in and take over. This will likely develop in an interducal war, and its epicenter will have been Londinium. I've come into some intel. It has the potential to save tens of thousands of lives. It's sort of thing I need to deliver out of the city before tomorrow's daybreak. War, you say? I'm afraid so. If our war could spread to other cities at a moment's notice, every Victorian needs to make preparations. Victoria's peace has endured for over 2 decades since His Majesty's passing. Many call it a miracle, but I long cease to believe in a miracle of any sort. No one would abandon their own interest, especially when its vastness is that of a victorious. It is instead, it gave those with the stuff to plunder all the more to consider. We pitiful that live in this crack of history could only simply shut our eyes and proclaim it so peace. Who would have thought deathly illness would drive Stafford to such measures? And who would have predicted how the other dukes would respond? Without the efforts of people such as yourself, this war could have broken out 22 years ago instead of being delayed to today. Are you trying to soothe me, Golding? I'm only stating the reality, nothing more. You need to reveal your goals to me, Heidi, let alone explain what your people have been planning all these years. You need only answer me one thing: will peace come again? It will. That's what we've been striving for all along. We will protect our homeland. That is the truth throughout the ages that we Victorians have believed in. Even if countless will die in the streets outside, even if each and even if each end inside upon the road of yours, the next preordained war comes to greet you? Indeed, because war will ultimately end. It may end at the hands of us or our posterity. When the smoke clears from the skies shrouding Victoria, no more will the children's smiles be crossed with haze. Very well. I'm willing to believe you, Heidi. To try and believe. Should I ever be able to return to Londinium Golding, then I'll tell you everything when we meet again. Remember that. Remember your promise. Come back alive. Dude, it's fucking intense, these flashbacks.
出発だ。
主の名を掲げ、この旗。
まずはジャガイモを埋めてくる
So,
わ。
what is spawning here? Red boy, hold up. Elite member of Nakana army releases corruption when defeated, causing your nearby units continuously lose HP. Oh, that sounds unpleasant. And something I don't want to deal with.
悪いね。僕は別に信徒じゃないよ。
Okay, how do we want to deal with this? So, I'm gonna put Gabriel over here.
お前らに任せたぜ。
Can I place thorns here?
時間をかけるつもりはない。
It's not a great place for a healer. I'm gonna do this.
気分がいいな。
わかった。目を凝らせ。これこそがイベリアのデストレッツォ。
ドクター、大物モンスター、私に続け。ドクター、大物はアタック次は。
Where do you think you're going, bitch? Okay, this is gonna be a problem.
じゃあこの宴会の歌に耳を傾けて。
This is definitely gonna be a problem.
今こそ皆さんをお助けする時です。
Okay. Kill him! Kill him!
私に指図するな。ドキドキ。
Kill all of them!
あなたたちの心に染み
I think we oh god, it was so loud. Holy shit, that was so loud. What the fuck?
我慢おやすみなさい。
It's fine. It's fine.
ドクター、こっち向きやがれ。
Why are there so many? Monster, you can distract for a second. Dude, Spectre Alter is so fucking good. Holy shit, did you see that? He has murdered all of them. What did there were so many of those guys? Holy shit, and I did so much damage. I think we need a wandering medic. I think we need to bring back a wandering medic into the party. Several hours later, where's Ralph gone? For heaven's sake, everything's a mess. How can he still be running about? I need a sippy. Miss Molly, Ralph said grown-ups keep mentioning artillery, but he's never seen it for himself. I'll spray the boys with some good old XUSI. Apple pie! I do love apple pie. Well, actually, I don't like apple pie, but XUSI loves it, so I'm gonna pretend to love it. Miss, you know the first thing I've ever baked was apple pie? That's actually pretty funny. That is the first thing I've ever baked. all the he can't have gone out in the suit. Ralph is a bit of an idiot, isn't he? He's like, oh, let's hang each other. Oh, let's go look at the artillery. Oh, this and that. Then Ralph, I don't know, not a bright kid. I don't think he got much of a future. He ain't gonna live that long. I'll tell you what. They've started firing out there already. The bolts and shells are flying all over. I'll go and find him. Lady Golding, it's far too dangerous. Ralph! You little fucking dumbass! Come here, now! Lady Golding, don't fear, good boy, I'm right here. Wah! Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have gone outside to the fucking explosions, Ralph, you fucking idiot! This is why you don't have a unique model, Ralph, you fucking moron. You'll never be pulled for. You'll never grow old enough to be in a banner, Ralph. You little dumbass. Let's hurry back. It'll all be better then. It'll all be alright. Lady Golding, Ralph, you're back. Oh, wonderful. I'm sorry, Miss Smalley. Oh, you scared me to death, Ralph. Are all the children here then? Yes, ma'am, I've counted. About just now, a shell landed nearby. Whatever for? Just who exactly is warring with who? It doesn't make sense. Everything was fine this morning. How could this have happened to Londinium so suddenly? Bob. Don't cry, Molly. No tears in front of the children. Yes, ma'am. Hold my hand tight. At least we're all together. We have the Defense Force and the Steam Knights. They'll protect Londinium. They'll protect Victoria. Steam Knights? I think I just saw them. Are they really tall ones in all black? And it was a shadow from the street lamps, wasn't it? Liar, it was definitely one of the Steam Knights. Tom the Cobbler always goes on about them. He says how they're the symbol of Victoria's grandness. He over the valleys and over the rivers, rumble you rumble. Tell us the sound shan't be thunder, shan't be gale. The grand knights of the grandest Victoria crowned. I knew that song when I was little too. My singing teacher said that every year on the knight's birthday, everyone gathering in the square to catch a glimpse of the Steam Knight's formation. Can a Steam Knight really fly? Apparently all they do is run very fast, faster than any lightning or storm with all the steam they emit on top. They must look like they're stepping on clouds. This is pants. We don't even have a king now. I've never seen a parade once. This is pants. Fucking pants, dude. Also, they told me their teacher once saw something even greater. It was a year Victoria had just defeated Gault, and to celebrate then the then king's birthday, dozens of Steam Knights all returned to Londinium together. Their suits were draped in flags of Victoria, and once they all marched down the steps of Palace Palace of West Hallig. It was like one of the giant flag all at once. And then everyone heard a howl, even clearer than thunder. A howl? Yes, a howl. The people who were there just say it was a Victoria's emblem, the symbol on our flag coming alive. Because ever since that day, Victoria had officially surmounted Gaul and become the grandest nation of all Terra's land. I'm sorry, Lady Golding. Your father was ghoulish, I forgot. You didn't apologize to me, Molly. You and I, Ralph, and the hundreds of thousands of children that grew up here all grew as Londiniers. Perhaps the same goes for the ones in the suit of steam armor outside. Do you know a Steam Knight, Miss Golding? Charles Lynch. He used to live in Ochterig. Tom the Cobbler was an old friend of his, hence why he loves the tales of His Majesty and the Steam Knights so much. In fact, Lynch was the last Steam Knight His Majesty ever titled in his life. And the last Steam Knight titled up until now. That night drags on. for so long that the children hear every tale of the Steam Knights told in Londinium, and first light has just broken. The sound of artillery stopped sooner than they expected. Past the witching hour, the streets outside have more or less returned to silence, but no words are needed as they all continue to stay huddled indoors. No one dares to rush to see the state out there. Near to every Londinier has been awake the whole night. The same question circles in everyone's mind. Come next morning, will Londinium be different? The next day. It seems like everything's the same. Where we have the Dukesman's gone. Where have the Dukesman's gone? I knew it. I knew the situation would come under control. Lickety split once the Steam Knights showed up. I just didn't think it'd be this fast. Molly, some way or another, we're going to need to buy essentials. We don't know what might happen next. You two, what are you doing out here? Mr. Adams. Excellent for children knowledge. It's just as indispensable, especially under present circumstances. Mr. Adams, could you bring me those sets of plays from yesterday? And I'm afraid I'll need a few more too. These fairy tales, along with the first steps into the mathematics and physics, they're there. Don't teach them math and physics in these tired times. You want to traumatize them even more? You witch! No math. There, and a copy of the home medical guide, if you could parcel all that, please. Wait, what's that noise? From not far away, sound uniforms of footsteps. They're unlike those of Londiniers have heard at parades. These are heavier and more urgent. The Palace of Vesthalle, the Shard, Parliament Square. One flight after another, in seamless succession through Achterig's almost desolate streets, through the center of Londinium Victoria's heart. As the footsteps press forward, this most ordinary of streets, some of those ducked to the sides of the street finally catch clear of the advancing army. Or better said, they see clearly the soldiers' appearances. The horns each shape their own, all condensed in ominous black, not even rushing. They're not Londiniers, they're Sarkaz. Goodness, ominous black, not even the rushing dawn of daylight casting a shine on them. Yeah, Sarkaz mercenaries. Sarkaz? They're Sarkaz mercenaries? Yeah, that's what I just said, fucking copycat. If they are mercenaries, assume they'll leave soon. And then Londinium will be back to the way it was, won't it? They don't know it yet, but in the years to come, many things will change completely. For one, the Sarkaz army won't ever leave Londinium. And for another, from that day forth, no one will ever see steam armor in her streets again. And that's how the Sarkaz came to occupy Londinium. Dude, I love this system. Just look at all these rewards. Woo! Woo, that was a lot of reading. What is this new material? Transmuted salt agglomerate? I see. That's cool. So, new mets. That I'm gonna have to farm at some point. Dude, I don't know. Okay, episode 11's pretty cool so far. So far it's flashbacks. So this one was like 20 years in the past, where we like watch the beginning of the usurpation, and this is when it happened, like 4 years ago, where the Sarkaz and Teresa's started to like step into Londinium and take over. That's pretty cool. I think we'll stop there for today. We read a lot. So we read through this, which talked about Tallulah and where she is right now. She's currently being held prisoner by someone called Nine, another Draco. We got to find out what happened 20 years ago, and potentially some siege origin story, where she got to ride a cool lion with a fucking sword in its mouth. And then we got to see what happened 4 years ago, where the Sarkas initially occupied the Londinium borders and further in. And tomorrow, we'll come back tomorrow with more Arknight story. I want to get through all of this, of course. I want to get through all of this stuff on stream and read through this. And hopefully you enjoyed the little bit you actually heard me say. It was like an hour of ASMR and then, or like an hour of like just silence and then an hour of like 3 hours for like 2 stages. To be fair, it would have been 3 stages if like I didn't do this first. But here's the deal, like it's going to like, also it's only been 2 hours to be fair. And I'm only stopping to like rest up my mouth a bit. For a solid 20 minutes. Yeah, I mean I can't shut up, you know? It's surprising when I shut up for like 2 seconds. Yeah, here's the deal, if I'm not talking, the microphone is off. That's not just because I don't want to talk, okay? I will never turn on stream and not talk. If I don't want to talk, I'm just not gonna turn on stream. Just for the record. But this is just how story is structured in Arknights. Just, you will have a lot of story in like these early bits, but then as it picks up, it will have like, it will become a little more like to the point at once it has set up a bit. And yeah, so we'll have, I think tomorrow we can go for like 3 hours, I think. I just wanted to chat a bit. And also it's like all the reading I do not have. I need to stock up on drinks for tomorrow. Get like a Powerade or some shit. Because yeah, my throat is like dry as fuck. Reading through all of this, like out loud. Isn't she fucking beautiful? I love her so much. And soon she will be in the game also. She'll also be in the game. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to continue the story tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow at 8 again. I kind of want to just do like late night stuff, because it's like I want to do late night stuff because then my birds are like more chill. And they're not screaming, and I don't have to pay attention to them or anything, and I can just put them to bed, and then I can just read the story. So tomorrow at 8 again, we're gonna go live with more story. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the little I read. I don't really like Arknight story. I really like Arknight story. I think it's long-winded. I think it could maybe be a little shorter in the way it's told. But episode 10 was so fucking good. I cannot stress how fucking good episode 10 is. Legitimately. If you know nothing about Arknights, episode 10 is still amazing. If you have read no story, episode 10 is still amazing. It is such a good fucking episode. It's so fucking good. Stormwatch was kind of whatever. Stormwatch was alright. This was where we fought like Mandragora, right? Yeah. Stormwatch was like the precursor to this. It was a lot of setup to getting to here. Which technically was a lot of setup to get to here, but it was really good. And the ending, holy shit. The ending to this final boss had me fucking screaming. It was so tense. This was also the final. I need to do this. I haven't done this hell stage yet. I'll do this at some point. But it's like the ending to Tallulah and the secret ending. Oh yeah, I have to do this to get like the secret ending here too. I haven't done that. I've been lazy about that. I need to get the secret. I need to do the condition for this. and the condition for this. But the ending for like Tallulah is also really fucking good. Like Tallulah is like a really good villain. The end of Reunion was like a really like so like for how fucking rough, like if you watch the anime basically covered the first act, like this right here. It's what it covered. The first well, technically 4 episodes, but up to episode 3. And these are rough. These are not good. These are so rough. But anime should be covering, I hope, up to here. I think that the anime the next season is gonna cover up to episode 6. And then season 3 will be the Roaring Flare. Or actually, episode 7 could be its whole... Episode 7 could be its own season. So, like, these 3 is gonna be next season of the anime. This will be a season 3, and this might be season 4. Or maybe they'll put these 2 together, but I don't think so. I think this is gonna be season 4. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this. Is like... Episode 6 is when the story became good, in my opinion. It was interesting. It started interesting in episode 4. And episode 5 had a lot of like good Chen character building, but it was still like really slow. And it had the Arknights issue of like saying the same thing over and over again. But it had some cool Shen story building, and Shen's cool. Episode 6 is a fucking banger. Episode 6 is an absolute fucking banger. That is like when the story became good. We'll have to do dailies. Anyways, I'll turn off screen now. So see you guys tomorrow at tomorrow at 8. See you then. More story. I won't be muted at the start this time. So yeah, bye.